everyone. It's Rachel here from Akashic Angels, joining you live from Albany, New York. Happy National Puppy Day. So if you have a puppy, I hope you're posting pictures of it. I know in the group that I'm a part of, I've seen nothing but adorable little cute puppy pictures all day, and I love it. It makes my heart just smile. I love it. So what I kind of want to talk about today is the inner critic. And the voice that kind of comes up inside of ourselves that cannot always be pleasant. So the inner critic is a voice that is kind of judgmental. It's something that can criticize, is demeaning, and it may not necessarily be true. It could be something that is a voice that is triggered from your past, a voice that's triggered from your employer, a voice that maybe somebody said something to you one time that you've always kind of internalized that voice, and it's constantly, rolling in the back of your head. So a highly active inner voice critic can take a toll on your emotional well-being and your self-esteem. So I know I've said before in a call before, like I've had my own inner critic and my own challenges that I've had to get over. And how I did that was really tapping into my spirituality and kind of really tapping into my inner guidance and my inner voice and tapping into the angels and everything else. Because ultimately what it comes down to is I need to love myself. And if I love myself, then I'm going to love the people around me. If I'm constantly like, oh, I hate myself, I'm the worst person ever, then obviously I'm going to be not very pleasant to the people that are around me. Do you know what I mean? So what I kind of want to say is that when you find that your inner voice has power, you can find that you doubt yourself, that maybe you're super amazing, talented artist, but every time you to paint to the canvas, you're like, oh, this is terrible, and it could be amazing. You could also procrastinate. So if you're always procrastinating, well, that could be your inner critic. Basically you're saying, well, what's the point? Like, what does it matter? It's not going to matter. I'm not good enough anyway. That's kind of something that you would say to yourself. I'm not good enough. I'm unlovable. I'm not good enough. That's kind of that negative inner critic talk. Another thing is you can keep yourself small. So you may even like go into like a meeting, or you're going to meet friends, or you're going, out to dinner, and you just keep yourself small. You keep yourself muted. You don't empower yourself to speak your voice because you're like, well, they don't want to listen to me anyway. What am I going to add to the conversation? You can be obsessed with the issue that you were criticized with. So let's say that somebody told you internalize, I'm fat, something like that. Well, maybe you could do it to the extreme, and you're at the gym 27 times a day, and you're super eating healthy, which is good. I should eat healthier. Maybe it's my own inner critic telling me you gotta eat a little better, Rachel. Cut out the cookies. They're so good. But anyway, but I could reverse it and go to such an extreme that it's actually unhealthy, because you have to have balance in all the things that we do. So what are some things that you can do to diminish that inner critic? Well, first you want to identify the voice of it. You want to tune in. Well, what is it saying to me? All right, is it my voice? Or is it someone else's? Is it my mom? Is it my dad? Is it a coach? Is it some jerk off the highway? I had this, I don't know why I'm going here, but I had this one experience on a bus. This is like back a long time ago. I used to live in Ohio. And this guy came up to me and made me feel super uncomfortable. And I'll tell you, my inner voice right there, I felt small for a lot of years afterwards, only because of this one action that this person did that made me feel uncomfortable. And it's like I gave my power away to him, and I let my inner voice take over. It's very empowering for me to realize that, which is something you need to do. So get to know the voice. And then you want to, whose voice is it really? Like I said, whose voice is it really? Is it really your voice? Is it someone else's? And you want to separate your inner critic from yourself. You kind of want to externalize that inner critic. Maybe you can draw that person out. Listen, I'm a terrible drawer. I can't do anything. But, maybe I want to sit here and I want to draw my inner critic. Okay, this is a really terrible color. I don't have very good colors here. I have a real problem with pens, and I always love brightly colored pens. But maybe this is my inner critic. Yeah, I can't draw, okay? Maybe that's my inner critic, and I'm going to externalize it, and I'm going to say, hey, you, this isn't me, this is you, and I'm not putting up with this anymore. I'm going to reframe that voice that you're giving to me. And then another thing that you want to do is that you want to cultivate inner kindness. So you want to start talking to yourself more gently. You want to reframe it, refocus it. Challenge its claims from the negative to positive. And some of the inner critic voice could be something that's maybe warning you, okay? Maybe if it's something like maybe you do need to kind of shift a little bit of your thoughts. Maybe if you're always thinking, well, I'm not lovable, well, maybe you're putting out vibrations and energy that you're not receiving back that same love because you're constantly in that victim mode and that victim mindset and that negative mindset. You got to shift out of it. You got to reframe it. You got to refocus it. You got to move out of it. So the last step you want to do is you want to reframe your inner critic. So how do you do that? You don't have to follow the guidance that your inner critic is saying. You could be like, you know what? You're going to the side, my friend, and I'm moving forward. So for me, like when I do my readings and whatnot, what can take over? My ego. I can get into my headspace and I can start saying, well, I think you should be doing this. Well, I'm not doing any benefit to the client that I'm giving a reading for because my ego is taking over and my thoughts, my opinions, my viewpoints is skewing that reading that's coming forward. So your master teachers and guides, if I put my ego to it, you're not getting the message that you deserve. So what I do is I put my ego as a conscious bystander. I put my ego to the side. You do the same thing with your inner critic and you put the inner critic to the side. You kind of box her up and say, thank you, but I'm not playing today. You know what I mean? That's what you got to do. So you want to make up your own mind and you kind of want to reframe it. So it's like, I can't talk today. It's like shifting from judgment to curiosity. And that's another thing. It's also shifting from, so we're current like 3D going into the 5D. Sorry, going off topic here. And it's shifting from the why to the wonder. It's shifting from judgment to curiosity. So that's also like going from 3D to 5D thinking, which is a whole nother topic for another day. Judgment. Maybe you're telling yourself you shouldn't feel this way. Curiosity. Why am I feeling this way? What is this about? What do I need to tune into? What is it that I need to look at this differently? What lesson is the universe giving to me here? That's how you shift from you shouldn't feel this way to, okay, why am I feeling this way? Your feelings are valid and you should validate your feelings, but you may need to tune into them. So I don't know if anyone's ever watched, what was that? What was the name of that show with, oh goodness, the Anna Delvey show? She's like, you're so dramatic. Oh my God, you're such a diva. I do not have time for this. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm terrible at accents. But saying to yourself, you're so dramatic. You could just say to yourself, inventing Anna, thank you so much. I do not have time for this. I do not have time for you. The show cracks me up. It's so freaking funny. Sorry, off topic. If you watched it, you know what I'm talking about. All these like ridiculous shows that are out right now with all these like scammers. This is my thought I have with this. How are you so gullible? How do you not know that you're being scammed? Ow! Why do you allow yourself to be, sorry, off topic. It's like, how? I sit there and I'm like, please tell me how you did this. Explain to me how you were swindled. All these shows, ridiculous. Anyway, so if you're saying to yourself, you're so dramatic, you're so sensitive, you can just say, this is feeling a bit overwhelming. This is feeling a bit too much for me, and tap into that. You don't want to go to the Anna. You want to go to somebody who's in alignment and in power and not in victim mode and not taking advantage of people. So you could just say to yourself, like, I have so much good going on in my life and I don't deserve this. I shouldn't have this. So you can just say, I'm upset and that's okay. That doesn't mean I'm not ungrateful for the things that I have in my life. You can have a lot of amazing things going on, but maybe you're hit with a tragic event, or maybe just you're not feeling 100%, or maybe today you're just, a little down in the dumps, which you're allowed to have your feelings. You're allowed to have space for your feelings, and you should tune into them as to why is it that I'm feeling this way. So another thing is that, just stop, get over it. How many times have people said that? Just get over it. Like, you can't just get over something. You need to process it. You need to tune into it and find out what's going on. What is that inner critic saying? And then you need to reframe it and switch it into something that's more loving, more powerful. And then what do I need to do to take care of myself right now? What can I do in this space, in this time, that I could take care of myself? So that is a brief little thing for the inner critic. And I'll tell you, when I first got into like my spirituality path, the thing that I did to kind of that's like the first thing I tapped into was my inner critic. Like that's really what opened up my spirituality path and everything like that, was tapping into what are the negative things that I'm saying about myself and what is it that I can shift. So I started meditating. I started journaling. I started tapping into, praying to God, please show me the way. And then it's translated into, okay, well, I have these healing abilities. I have these spiritual abilities. Okay, well, how can I, so, you go into imposter mode. As psychics and whatnot, we have tendency to go into imposter mode. And then you have to kind of reframe that. So I know that my show is ending pretty soon. And this is one thing I just got. So these are called affirmators. All right. They're really cool little cards. They're called affirmators, Affirmations Deluxe. And I want to pull one for everyone that's listening right now. Whether or not it's going to fit, I don't know. Well, we'll see what comes through, right? And they're really cool and they're fun and they're little positive affirmations. I will tell you, when I'm having like a down the dumps day and I feel like I can't shift my mindset, because we're not always perfect and we're not always going to have a great day. All right, this is levity. All right. So this says, laughter is the best free medicine, and it's high time I took a sweet, sweet hit of it. When someone annoys me or the plan goes awry, I vow to find something funny in it. And with that, I hope everybody has a great Wednesday. I hope you find some laughter, find some joy, and have a wonderful Wednesday. And I will see you guys all next week. Take care.